it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, that helps futures lose pride.
I am loving chamomile tea. Let me tell you, everybody. Hi, my name is Robert Ferguson, and this is Diet for Life, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to share with you something that I believe will be a game changer for you. So whether your goal is to lose weight, gain muscle, improve your business, improve a relationship, whatever your goal is, I'm going to share with you a technique, a proven technique that will help you succeed. Now, weight loss is a space that I'm in. That's my profession, right? As a nutritionist, my goal is to help people learn how to eat regular, everyday foods, but in a way where they can improve their health, lose weight, and never feel like they're on a diet. Fortunately, everything that I share is not a hypothesis. It's proven. However, even people that I work with struggle. So the technique that I'm going to share with you will help them. And if you dare to use this technique, I promise you it will work. Now, this is Diet for Life, and my name is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. That's Robert Lawrence Ferguson. And I hope you like my little fro. Got my hair like, once a month I get my fro going. No little twisty twists. I'm like, you know what? My daughters are like, Daddy, you should just keep it like that. I'm like, maybe I'll let it get really big, like Michael Jackson back in the day, little J5. Now, I know some of you are like, come on, man, get to it. Give me the technique. I got things to do. Okay, I got things to do also. Okay. Now, let me just let you know, okay, whether you're catching me live or a replay, my contact information is always available. So please contact me if you have questions about anything that I talk about. And if your goal is to lose weight or to optimize health, please reach out, and I would recommend you do a free consultation. I can get on the phone with you. I'm a coach and I have coaches. I can connect you with a coach. All of our coaches are great, and they can help you get to where you most want to be, especially if it's about a weight. Ooh, there was a rhyme in there. Okay, I'm getting to it, and I'm going to build. Now, if someone comes in late, my recommendation is to go back and start from the beginning so that you build with me and understand when I get to like that final, like rah, right? That punchline, the grand poobah, then it makes sense. Because sometimes if people come into my lives or they catch me on a podcast in the middle, they may not have the full context, and then they miss the real opportunity to benefit from what I was sharing. So like I said in the beginning, I am going to share with you a technique, a proven technique, that anyone who hears this technique, there's no way you can say it's not a good technique. That's why I'm going to share with you. It's like, what's the point of knowing something that can help other people and only giving it to people who can pay for it? Sometimes, the universe, God is saying, give it away, man. Help other people. Now I'm going to play a little video to set the atmosphere. Is that right? Maybe that's not right. Okay. Anyway, I want to set this up right. And this is a scene out of a movie called Enter the Dragon. And the star of this movie is one of my childhood heroes. His name is Bruce Lee. The most famous martial artist of all time. Okay. And in this movie and all his work, he was always sharing philosophies or sharing insight to help people like learn. And he was very big on self-knowledge, like self-awareness. And a big part of self-knowledge and self-awareness is learning how to ask not other people questions, but learning how to ask yourself questions. And this kid who's in the scene, I'm setting it up, is not going to be focusing on what would really benefit him if he actually focused on what Bruce first shares. So I'm going to let it play out, but it sets the tone for the powerful technique I'm going to give you guys today that 100% can help anybody. And if you're a health coach, if you're a weight loss coach, if you're a nutritionist, a doctor, dietitian, this is going to be a great technique for you to use for yourself and to actually use when you're working with your clients, okay, or your customers, whatever you would refer to them, or your patients. All right, so let's watch this thing. That's Bruce Lee, by the way.
Kick me. Kick me. What was that? An exhibition? We need emotional content. Try again.
Okay, let me pause. If you didn't hear what he said, he asked his student, he said, kick me. And then the kid kicked and he says, no. And he talked about emotional content, like intention. So he's asking him to do it again. Okay. Now I think we all got it. So if you missed that, now you know.
I said emotional content, not anger. Now try again with me.
See, I love that. So he's asking him to try again. He says, because the kid tried again, but the kid was mad. He was a little frustrated. And so he went at it and he goes, no, not with anger. Like if you watch boxing, the guy who's the maddest, who looks the baddest, is not the one who always wins. It's the one who can control their intent, control their emotions, stay present, and move with meaning. Meaning, not anger. Because there's a lot of people who will start a weight loss program and it's like, I'm going to do it this time. And we all know it doesn't work out for them. Then you got the ones like the kid in the very beginning, he threw the kick. There was nothing behind it. So Bruce is asking him one more time. All right, let's see what happens now.
That's it. How did it feel to you? Let me think.
So the kid did it right. And then Bruce asked him, how did it feel to you? And the kid moved away from his emotions, which is what Bruce was asking him to tap into. And he said, let me think. And that's where many people, when they're wanting to lose weight or they want to improve their business, they think sometimes too much. You ever heard the saying paralysis of analysis? Like people get stuck trying to figure out not the best post, the best next thing. I don't know what to say. Instead of saying it, if you can tap into your intent, if you can tap into just being real, honest with yourself, and move from that place, people will feel that and it will be engaging. If you overthink, it blocks us from being at our very best. Now, I'm going to give you a tool because not everybody knows how to do that. That's what this whole live is about, is to give you a technique. But I'm using Bruce's example here. And he's about to give you a major nugget. And I'm going to share this with my coaches because all of them would benefit from what I'm sharing today. All of them. And anyone who's a personal trainer, health coach, you all will benefit from what I'm saying. This is a major lesson. And if you are an individual and you have goals and you want to be successful, pay attention. Because part of why many people are not successful is because they're not slowing down. Look how smooth Bruce moves. He's not in a rush. He asks questions. He can listen. Many people are struggling with that. And even though some people can get short-term success, eventually the thing that drowns them is that they never knew how to listen, ask questions, be present. Okay. All of what I'm sharing with you is part of the lesson here, the take home. Okay. Here we go.
Don't think. Feel. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Okay, I want to pause right there. Bruce is pointing, let's say, the moon, or it could be the sun. And as he points, the kid stares at his finger instead of where the intent of where the point is. And so he's missing the heavenly glory because he's so concentrated on the finger that he's missing the real beauty. And this happens to a lot of people. It's one of the reasons why some people are straight A students and some people struggle. Is because it's hard to slow down and to see it. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. I want you guys to see that.
Don't think. Feel.
And here it goes.
It's like
Watch.
a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Do you understand? Never take your eyes off your opponent, even when you bow. That's it.
And you guys, there's lessons in that. I may trust you, but it doesn't mean I need to take my eyes off of you. Never take your eyes off the ball. We've all heard that. Stay focused, stay present, and stay in the game. Now I'm going to play one more video and then I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to use the example of intermittent fasting. Very popular way to lose weight. And I have many of my clients that will text me, will email me, hey, well, what do you think about intermittent fasting? What do you think about intermittent fasting? I know somebody do it, and I talk about this a lot. So I'm saying, pay attention, stay present. What are you looking for? Why are you taking your eye off the ball? And if your goal is to live your best and healthiest life, if that is the goal, as you are maturing in life, you don't want to lose skeletal muscle. Now, one of the most cited and respected scientists when it comes to skeletal muscle and the relationship to nutrition protein is a guy named Don Layman. So if Don Layman, who is the most respected, high level, everybody in science believes him. And if he told you that you don't want to skip breakfast and you choose to skip breakfast because you think, even though you don't got 40, 50 years of scientific background, wrote many papers, and is considered the king when it comes to what we're talking about. If he tells you that intermittent fasting is not good, and he's the one who's gone to school, and he's the one that's proven it, he's the one that done randomized placebo-controlled trials, he has proven that it's not good for you. You're still going to do it? Now, those people we can't help. To make my point, watch this.
Studies, actually quite a few studies looking at weight loss. So you're talking about time-restricted feeding or fasting, etc. I don't recommend fasting for anybody over 30 ever. So, 36, 48, 72-hour fasting, some people think that's somehow a cleanse. I think that is a muscle loss that is never recoverable in an older adult. So, a 25-year-old can pull that off, but a 65-year-old should never do that.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys heard that clear, but a leading authority said it wouldn't be a good thing. But people, even if they saw him say it, they will choose to not do what's best for them. Okay. All of that being said, here's the technique. And I was talking to a few clients this morning, and this came up. I shared it with one, and then it came up again, and then it was part of the business. I said, you know what? I am going to share this with people, and whoever gets it, gets it. Now, this is a technique that I didn't make up. It's a technique that I first heard from Tony Robbins, very famous, popular, motivational speaker, guy who's really put in the work over the years, has trained many people on success. And what I heard him once say was that you got to learn how to ask the right questions, not to other people, but to yourself, in order to get the right outcomes. So if I ask myself, why can't I get out of bed and go exercise first thing in the morning? Then your brain is wired to find the answer. You're lazy. You've never been a morning person. You're tired. You need to get your rest. But the flip of that could be, how could I position myself to get up early and to get in my workouts? How could I make the most of this weekend so that on Monday I'm a pound or two lighter? How could I get 2 new customers in the next 24 hours? Instead of, man, it's hard getting customers. What happens is, if you don't know how to ask the right questions to yourself, you will affirm, not just a question, but you will affirm with a statement what you don't want. And I can't think of the quote, but it's biblical. And it was Paul that basically says, and I can paraphrase it, where he says, why do I keep doing the things that I don't want? And I keep doing it. The goal is, ask yourself, what do you want? Like, my mind is wired that way, and my goal is to get my kids to be wired that way. Because if you're not, you have to work really hard to change how you're wired. You want to learn how to ask the right questions. And if you ask the right question, you will always find the answer that's going to serve your best interest. Don't ask questions that don't serve your best interests. So I'm going to give you an example as from a business standpoint. And this happened today. I was talking to one of my partners who is out there helping spread the word with Balance Oil and the balance tests. And we know how legit and real it is. Okay. And so I said, hey, somehow I wasn't a question, but it came up with getting a certain amount of customers because, we still have so many days in the month. And I was checking in to see how this person was doing and could I help out. And I heard them say, well, I may not make it to this number. Now, if you say I may not make it, let's say the goal is 20 customers. Yeah, I may not get 20 customers this month. You just affirmed that you're not going to be successful. You just affirmed it. And what I said was, let's change that and say, how can I get 20 customers this month? What could I do to get 20 customers this month? Now, you may not like the answer and the work that comes with it, but even in the Bible, it says you got to do the work. You got to get uncomfortable sometimes to get what you want. Because if you ask the question, how can I get 20 customers? Then you're going to go, okay, I could call 10 more people. I could send out a new post on Facebook to let people know about what I have. I could go back to people that used to be a customer, because your mind, everything is different when you change it like that. Now, I got to experience this a lot as a coach. And of course, I've always done it for myself. But it's like my daughters, the first 2 words I think I helped them, big words to learn when they were little, was optimism, being an optimist. And I wanted them to know what it looked like to be a pessimist. Now, you can live your life in the space of a pessimist, right? Or you can live your life as an optimist, right? And a pessimist will go, well, the sun's not shining today. Geez, that's horrible. An optimist will realize the reality that the sun's not shining. And what a great day to stay in and get the house clean and maybe watch that movie that I've been thinking about. I can't tell you how many people, that I have coached. And I wrote a post on this the other day. My goal is that I wanted to talk to 10 people that in the last 5 years that I coached in nutrition that stopped working with me as their coach, right? So I was coaching them. We were making progress. And then for some reason they go, well, I think I got it, or I'm going to take a break, or, blah, blah, blah. They come up with all these reasons to stop. And it's not money, because I made it very affordable. So imagine making coaching so affordable, it would be like taking me out to coffee once a week. You buy me a coffee once a week, and I'm your coach. And I have people paying $1,200 a month, if not more. So you get me for a cup of coffee, and I watch people like that still quit and give up on themselves and gain all their weight back. So it's not about money. See, there's a psychology to weight loss and being healthy and living the way you say you want to live. Now, if you talk to all those people, they would say they're not happy with where they are. The weight that they lost, they gained it back. But then they will lack humility and they won't call because they're embarrassed. And what happens is people reverse it, and it's like they put an imprint on themselves, and it blocks themselves from being able to be their best self. They lack humility. Otherwise, when you know something works, you go do what works. You would call, hey, Robert, you got 5 minutes? Yeah, because I don't judge anybody. I have many clients that come back to me. So they come back, we talk, and then we get back on track. If it's affordable, I've watched people give up on themselves. A lot of it is psychology. Dichotomous thinking is a big part of it. It's like they imprint on themselves failure. Because think about it. If you grow up and no one ever taught you what we're talking about, how would you know anything else? You wouldn't. So you're just floating through life. Maybe if you read enough books or maybe around certain people, you could be lucky and get to a place where you get everything that I'm saying. But most people aren't that fortunate. Many of us have to like get to a place, maybe catch a video like this and go, wait a minute, let me that makes sense. Like tomorrow, I would tell you guys tomorrow, go all day and notice what kind of thinking you have. If someone asks you to do something or want to do something, notice if you go right to affirming a negative, or do you ask yourself the question, how can you make something work? See, I know about a principle that says you will always find what you're looking for. So when people meet me and they realize what I do, they may have an idea of going to a certain restaurant, but then they don't want to go because they're thinking for me. The economist thinking, oh, well, you probably wouldn't like that place. I don't know if there's anything for you to eat. How can you tell me if there's anything to eat for me? Who are you to make that decision about what I think and how I eat for me? That's dichotomous thinking. And many people have it and they suffer from it and don't even know it. Now, if you're lucky and you get with a good coach, that coach is going to help you realize that you have it, and then you can break it. Many people will never break it, but you could be aware of it. And if you're aware of it, you can catch yourself and stop. Right? It's like here's dichotomous thinking. I'll be talking to someone and they'll say, well, I know how busy you are and I know you don't really have the time. Who the hell are you to tell me how busy I am and that I don't have the time? And you're giving yourself a way out. Don't think for me. I'm not asking you to think for me. Ask me a question. Does Thursday at 3 p.m. work? Sounds good. Don't tell me you know how busy I am and that it may not. Don't bring that dichotomous thinking to me. If you're doing it to me, that means you're doing it to yourself. Break it. And then the sad part, which you can fix it, is you're going to notice that probably your kids got it from you. And now they're going to live their whole life affirming things that won't help them instead of learning how to ask questions. How can I? Because we all naturally are problem solvers. And you're thinking, well, how is that? I watched many women get on the phone and I'm going to say gossip with their girlfriend. The girlfriend has a problem. And think about how good you are at helping her solve it. We can solve everybody else's problem, but we don't know how to ask the right questions that would help us solve a problem or enhance our success. Tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong in the comments to say, man, you are talking crazy, this is totally wrong, blah, blah, blah. I would love to hear that I'm wrong. And please explain to me like how I'm wrong and add some content to it. Because I'm not. And I know I'm not because I'm coming from a place to help and to share. So my last point, and here's a technique. And I know it's hard for a lot of you guys to think like this. It may be hard. Some of you are going to just get it quickly. But I'm going to share with you how this activates the universe, God, to get involved. Okay. This morning when I woke up, I asked myself, I wanted to get 2 customers. And I wanted to help 2 people get on the balance oil because I know the importance of it, right? And I was like, okay, my goal is I want to get 2 customers. And then I remember asking myself when I sat at the computer, all right, God, how are we going to get 2 new customers? And I had answers, right? It was like, okay, let's look and see who used to use the product and they're not anymore. And so I'm now into problem solving. About 20 minutes goes by. Kid you not. 20 minutes. And I get a text message from one of my clients that I've coached on and off for 20 years. I introduced this client to the balance oil and the test a little over a year ago. The timing wasn't right, had a lot going on. And this client respects me 100%. And I remember thinking, wow, she's not really jumping on board, which is fine. And I felt like she heard me, but she had a lot going on in her life. Well, anyway, when I got that text this morning, she said, hey, I want to talk to you about the balance oil. Can you call me when you get a free moment? I was like, wow. So I waited about an hour because I was on another call, called her, and she ended up getting she got a bottle of the balance oil, and then she wanted to try the collagen boost. And she knew my background with liquid collagen. And she asked me, what did I think? And I said, it's a great product. The collagen boost is a great product. It is. I feel very confident about it. So remember, I woke up, I said, God, how do I get 2 new customers today? 20 minutes later, as I was getting ready and beginning to do the work, because I asked myself, how can I? And then I knew what to do. I get that message. And then since that time, I ended up getting 3 additional customers because of that. So I got 5 customers. And I woke up asking the question, how can I get 2? And then you answer the question, right? Because you have some people who may ask the question, but they won't think out what the answer is. They're not present. Stop, breathe, relax. We live in a world right now where there's a lot of people that are unhealthy. And every day, people aren't becoming healthier. More people are unhealthy every day. So there's no shortage of people that I could help. All right. Anyway, I think I did my job. So I'm going to end by giving a shout out to Sandy Silver, Sandy, I'm just really proud of you. I really am. Because, Sandy's when you're a smart person and you watch and observe, you have time to think. And if you keep your eyes and ears open and you sit back, if I'm a fool or if I'm talking crazy, she would actually see that I'm a fool and I'm talking crazy. At the same time, she will see who else is a fool or who is talking crazy. Because you sit and you just watch. And you go, okay. You're bringing in critical thinking. Right? Like when you look at like these people that have gone crazy talking about when Charlie Kirk died, right? Got assassinated, murdered. Who knows what the outcome as far as who did it and all that, to me is up in the air. But what I do know is that no one deserves to just be killed like that. Like no one. But that's coming from a place where I actually care and love is in my heart. People who are filled with hate, their mind doesn't think about love unless it's in full agreement with what they believe is right. So they live in a place of judgment because judgment is framed around right and wrong. Now, if President Biden got shot, and I've never been a fan of President Biden, not even a little bit, okay? But man, I would be sad for his family. I would be sad for his grandkids that won't get to spend time with their grandpa. I may even tear up because that is just mean. If someone shot Biden, I would be very sad. Very sad. Because I do have empathy for the humankind. You have some people sitting back, well, I can't relate, so that's why I don't really feel anything emotionally. Like, what? We're detached. I mean, these people are detached from humankind. Oh, there's a saying that I learned years ago that we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. A spirit is filled with love, if we have not forgotten. A spirit is love. And then when you look at Jesus Christ, right? You smack me on this cheek and I'm going to give you the other one. Like, I know we can't be perfect, but that's one of the things that Jesus represented. And then if you look at philosophers, whether it's Hippocrates or the Dalai Lama, Buddha, they're all preaching the same thing. Mother Teresa, kindness, love. And it's like people are so detached that we're only thinking one way. And I know that can show up in how people run their business. And sometimes that could be a good thing because you develop maybe a narcissistic attitude. Those people are driven because they don't believe they can fail. They're just driven, not from a place of love and kindness, but you can accomplish some great things when you don't care about screwing over people. Now, the people that I attract and talk to and listen to me, that's not how we roll. So I'm not attracted to people that screw over people like that. I'm attracted to people who are trying to be a nice, loving person. And hey, I've made mistakes and I continue to make mistakes. I know I'm far from perfect and I haven't met one person that's perfect. But I know what our intent is, as Bruce Lee focused on. And if you keep working at whatever you're working at with the right intent, eventually there will be some breakthroughs. So anyway, remember the key here in the take home is to learn how to ask the right questions so that when you come up with the answer, it moves you forward instead of backward. Okay. So let me just show one more thing and then I'm going to say goodbye. We talk a lot about inflammation. And the soda that went into that glass, that's symbolic to inflammation. That's omega-6. And we get a lot of omega-6. It's in a lot of the foods that we eat. And one of our big challenges is that we're not getting enough omega-3s, like quality omega-3. So that's like the water coming out of the faucet. And as you get more of the omega-3s, eventually what's in the dark comes to the light because omega-3s help reduce inflammation. And if we reduce inflammation, then we're addressing every unhealthy condition that people have. Cancer, autoimmune conditions, blood pressure. So you want to look at inflammation and address that. And that's what I mean by the balance well, because it has two very important ingredients in it that helps to bring down inflammation. Omega-3s in a triglyceride form, which is ideal, and polyphenols, which you can get from fruits and vegetables. These come from unripe olives. Both of those molecules are designed and are known for reducing inflammation systemically throughout the body. And the product is called Balance Oil. Now, in my opinion, if I was hardcore, you're a fool not to be on Balance Oil, especially when you know what I know. But most people don't know what I'm aware of, right? Because this is my profession. So my job and the challenge is to find enough people that are willing to listen so that they can learn about it and then benefit from it. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Okay, so that was a little insight. So let's say it's brought to you by the Balance Oil. But you can contact me if you want to learn more about anything. And again, if your goal is to lose weight, if your goal is to get off meds, if your goal is to improve your business, ask the right questions. And the answer to those questions will constantly move you in the right direction. All right. I'm Robert Ferguson. And thank you for listening in. Please make sure you like, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Comment if you got a question. If I didn't get to it, I apologize, but we will. I always go back and look. Until the next time, peace.
There's a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome feels so right.